What is up, you guys? Andrew here with Bob Ruth Ford in Dillsburg, PA. Today, we are in the 2017 Ford Escape, and I am going to be completely going over this one for you guys. So, let's start with pricing. And so to start, there are three different trim levels for the 2017 Escape. First one being the S, that is going to start at $23,750. Then there is the SE for $25,250. And lastly, the Titanium, which is the one I am in today, that is going to start at $29,250. And so, but then continuing on with the options, there are actually three different engine setups available for the 2017 Escape. First one being the 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, and that one is going to be standard on the S, and that is going to come with 168 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 170 pound-feet of torque available at 4,500 RPM. Power on that one is going to be sent to the front wheels through a 6-speed select shift automatic. By the way, that transmission setup does come standard for every single trim level, and miles per gallon on that engine setup is going to give you 21 in the city and 29 on the highway. But then there is the 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. That one is going to come standard on the SE and Titanium trim levels. That is going to put out 179 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 177 pound-feet of torque available at 2,500 RPM. Power is going to be sent to either the front wheels or all wheels through Ford's intelligent all-wheel drive system. And miles per gallon on that one is going to give you 23 in the city, 30 on the highway with an auto start-stop system. So for instance, when you're stopped at a red light or a stop sign, the engine is going to automatically shut off for you, helping you save MPGs. And once you let off the brake, it's going to instantly start back up, ready to go again. But then one last engine setup, which actually is the one I have today, that is going to be the 2-liter twin-scroll turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. By the way, that engine setup is optional on the SE and Titanium. That is going to add an additional $1,345 to the price tag. But that, of course, is going to be my favorite one, because that one is going to put out 245 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 275 pound-feet of torque available at 3,000 RPM. Power is going to be sent to the front wheels or all wheels once again, and MPGs on that one is going to give you 22 city, 29 on the highway, once again with that auto start stop system. But then I did want to mention one other thing when it comes to fun, at least since I'm on that topic. If you slide the shifter all the way to the back, that is going to give you sport mode, and that is going to give you full control over the shifts. And by the way, paddle shifters do come standard on the SE and Titanium trim. So as always, you guys, let's put it in that paddle shift mode here and test out the response time. There is a slight delay when it comes to the paddle shifters, but this thing is quick. This thing definitely has a ton of pickup, absolutely no issues with merging onto the highway, at least at the 2-liter twin-scroll turbo that I have today. But then looking out my rear window here, actually visibility is quite good in this one. And it is a smaller SUV, so I didn't expect it to be bad, but actually this one is definitely above average when it comes to that rear visibility. Then another thing I wanted to mention to you guys is when it comes to the steering feel, this does have a heavier steering feel for an SUV. Again, big fan of that. Definitely feels like you're more in control of the vehicle, at least when it comes to steering and handling. So again, big fan of that as well. Cabin noise is a little on the higher side, I guess you could say, but the ride quality is definitely on par for its segment here. But so then enough with the driving dynamics, you guys. Let's check out the exterior. And so to start, there is that black front grille up front on the S trim level. Chrome front grille is going to come standard on that SE and Titanium. And just below, there are amber color fog lights for the S trim level. Clear fog lights are going to come standard on the SE and Titanium. And there is that silver trim on the front bumper, again, if you go with the SE or Titanium. But then one more additional feature the Titanium trim level is going to add is that LED signature lighting up front. And we all know LED lighting definitely looks good. But then, making your way to the side, there are black door handles and black side mirrors for the S trim level. SE trim level and up is going to get body colored door handles and body colored side mirrors. And if you go with the Titanium, you are going to also get integrated turn signals up there as well. But then looking down, when it comes to that wheel setup, the S trim level is going to give you 17-inch steel wheels with covers. SE is going to give you 17-inch silver aluminum wheels, and the Titanium is going to give you 18-inch silver aluminum wheels there. And then making your way to the back, there is a rear spoiler back there along with the rear window wiper. LED tail lamps are going to come standard on the SE and Titanium trim levels, and just below it all, there are dual exhaust outlets with chrome tips. So, as always, you guys, here is that exhaust clip. since we are around back, I did want to first mention there is a button on the key fob to unlock that rear hatch. So simply press that if you wanted to unlock it and then walk away. It is going to open itself for you there. And once opened up, cargo capacity is going to come in at 34 cubic feet. And there's a 60-40 split back there. So if you needed additional space, simply fold that second row down. That is going to bump that cubic feetness up to 68. And then making your way to the back seats, rear legroom is going to come in at 37.3 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had going on back there. And if you go with the SE or titanium trim levels, there is a rear armrest with cup holders back there as well. And if those rear passengers look forward, you do have rear ventilation back there too. And then making your way to the front seats, there are manually adjustable seats with a cloth finish for the S. SE trim level is going to give you 10-way power adjustable driver's seat, again with cloth. Leather is going to be optional on the SE trim level, so you can still get it if you wanted that. And lastly, titanium trim level is going to give you leather seating with 10-way power adjustable driver and passenger seats and memory settings for up to 3 different drivers actually. But then looking forward, there is a tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Titanium trim level is going to give you a leather wrap steering wheel. That is actually what you're looking at right now. And then when it comes to the startup, let me show you guys the key here on the one side. You of course do have your Ford logo, and then flipping it over, you have lock, unlock, the button for the rear hatch, and that ×2 button at the top. That is actually going to be your remote start. That is standard only for titanium, but that allows you to start the car up from the outside, probably warming it up on those super cold days, so that's always nice. But anyways, with that titanium trim level, you also do have a push button start, so simply put your foot on the brake and press that engine start button there. And then once started up, tachometer is going to be all the way on your left, speedometer is on your right, fuel gauges are going to be in the bottom, and then there is a small digital display front and center there. And of course, within that digital display, you do have the option to adjust between a couple different things there. For instance, you can view your average miles per gallon, how many miles you have left until you hit empty. There is also a digital speedometer setup, which is probably what I would leave it on up there. And then there's also some different settings you can scroll through. Like for instance, you have the ability to turn that auto start stop system off up there. So that is there for you as well. But so anyways, let me move on to overall interior quality. SE trim level and up is going to give you dual zone climate control, so both driver and passenger can set their own settings there. And I do have the panoramic vista roof today, which I absolutely love. That is actually a $1,495 option if you wanted to go that route. And then titanium trim level is also going to give you universal garage door openers, and that is going to be located just above the driver's head there. Again, titanium trim is also going to add ambient lighting, which I'm sure is definitely going to look nice at night. It is the daytime right now, so I can't really show you guys that, but overall the Escape is finished quite nicely. I definitely like the German style seating with the horizontal lines across the middle there. There is a sunglass holder up top, but perhaps my favorite part is the tech front and center. So when it comes to the tech, the sync system comes standard on the S and SE, but there is a Sync 3 system that comes standard on the titanium. It is actually optional on the SE if you wanted that, but for comparison's sake, Sync system is going to give you a 6-speaker sound system. Sync 3 is going to give you a 10-speaker Sony sound system, and of course with that Sync 3 you do have access to Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So once you hook your smartphone up via USB to the Escape, that is going to give you access to Google Maps, which is one of the best navigation systems in my opinion. Also, it's going to let you like and dislike your Pandora songs up on that touchscreen if you wanted to. Also, it gives you access to iHeartRadio and a couple other apps as well if you wanted it. But also on this one is Bluetooth and audio streaming. There is also a factory navigation system available. But then lastly, I wanted to mention is when you do put the Escape in reverse, there is a reverse camera for every single trim level, letting you know who or what is behind you, which as always is going to lead me into safety. And so to start, there are front, side, and side curtain airbags. There is a driver's knee airbag up there as well. In the back, there is latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for those rear car seats. Also available safety for the 2017 Escape is going to include blind spot information system with cross traffic alert and a remote sensing system. And so, but anyways, that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to follow Bob Ruth Ford on social media at the bottom there, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye!